I can't believe 2021 is almost over. So it's the end of 2021. Let's go ahead and talk about this year and see what we did. Now, so it's the end of 2021 and it's rolling to a close, and it's time to kind of go backwards and see So it's the end of 2021, and let's go back and see what happened this year. Now I'm going to actually say that as I was thinking about making this video, I was starting to dread it, because I dread making videos where I have to come on and say, I didn't do something, I failed, I did whatever. And I'm going to go ahead and just throw it out there that I did not lose weight. I'm actually sitting at the exact same weight that I started at the beginning of this year. That's depressing, it's embarrassing, it's demoralizing, it's the whole 9 yards. And I was dreading this. And I was totally dreading making this video. But then I sat back and I said, but Mary Fran, what did you do this year that is positive? Because it hasn't all been negative, of course. And I came up with some amazing things that have happened to me this year. So let's take a ride on the year. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to say that I actually finished up a quilt. So the first thing is I'm going to say that I actually finished up a quilt that I started last fall. Finished it up. We've been sleeping under it. You guys have seen it behind me in some videos. And it's been a wonderful thing. I love finishing projects, especially big projects, because sometimes they get so weighed down and bogged down that you forget about them and they just sit and wait and wait and wait. So I finished that. I was so very happy with myself. And not only that, but I actually started another quilt. I'm doing a grandmother's garden quilt, and I'm making great headway on that. So hopefully that'll be done by next year. I don't know if that's going to be a goal for next year, because, you know, life happens. But, you know, hey, I am working on it. On January 1st last year, I started a challenge. And that challenge was to propel myself 2,021 miles for the year. That equaled up to be about 5 miles a day, give or take. And I was very skeptical. And in fact, after the first week, I'm like, I can't do this. This is way too big, way too large. Just, it's not going to happen. But I kept pushing myself through one day at a time. Get your mileage today, Mary Fran. Get your mileage today. Just today. Don't focus on tomorrow. Don't focus on the month. And I closed out January and I banked some miles. And February, I banked some more miles. And I was getting further and further ahead each month. And I started to actually believe that I could do this. And I am so proud to say that in 2021, I propelled myself 2,021 miles. I did it. And I did it by the middle to the end of September, which is awesome. So not only did I do it, I wasn't just like running and riding my bike and being crazy with my miles at the end of the year. I finished it way early. So that was huge. This year, I actually have read a lot of books. Right now, I'm sitting at 122 books read for the year. And some of them were self-help, some were about birds, some were fiction, some were, you name it. I read a little bit of everything. And so that was an awesome thing. It's probably not it. So that was pretty awesome, 121. So that was actually pretty awesome. It's not my highest count for my years, but it's actually not very shabby at all. And I don't actually have a goal for books. I just read when the mood strikes me, which apparently is a lot. So during the first part of 2021, when we would go hiking, I would just be like huffing and puffing and my legs would hurt and I was miserable and I just wanted it to end. In fact, most of the time that I was hiking, I'm just like, just let this torture end. And about midway through the year, all of a sudden we went hiking and we were hiking at the Charcoal Trail in the Catoctin Mountains. And I'm hiking, I'm like, hi, Kiwi. And I'm just hiking away, and I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. We were hiking up a hill, and I'm like, yeah, we get to a turnoff where there's a side trail, and I'm like, let's take it. It's only 2 miles one way. And so I just kept doing it. And I was like, I turned a corner. Hiking once again became fun. And that was a huge victory. And I know that when we went on vacation, we hiked a lot on our vacation. And there was never a day that I went home and was like, oh my word, my legs, I can't feel them because they're so sore. I never went home and was walking like I was, 125 years old. My legs felt like steel. My legs were amazing on vacation. And I know it's from all those miles on the bike and through my 2021 challenge. So it kind of goes hand in hand, but I had 2 amazing victories there. Now, even though I'm currently sitting at the same weight, I did have some success with my weight loss. Before vacation, I lost about 12 pounds in the last 12 weeks. That was amazing. So I actually had periods where I was doing really good. Unfortunately, I would lose control and I would gain it back. So I did have periods of losing weight. I just need to be consistent. So I actually did have a lot of victories. And of course, let's not forget 2021, I got married. What can I say? That's awesome. This year will always be an amazing year. And how could I ever look at this year as a failure? Because look at the amazing things that happened. Sure, I didn't reach all of my goals, but I still reached some pretty amazing goals, and I had some pretty amazing things. We have gone on the most amazing hikes. We've explored the most amazing museums. We have had an amazing year. And that's what I'm going to focus on. I had an amazing year. I'm not going to focus on the negatives. I'm going to focus on the positives of what I did have. So let's close out 2021 by focusing on the positives. And then let's go ahead, and very soon you'll be seeing me as I make some amazing 2022 goals and plans. And we'll be talking about those very, very soon, so stay tuned. Just remember, there's no excuses. Live your life to the fullest. Just remember, there are no excuses. Live your life to the fullest. No excuses.